Welcome back to Winning the Game of Life. I'm your host Shawn Chhabra. Today I'm fired up. I'm very excited because I'm featuring a very special guest. In the community, he's known as JLD. He is none other than John Lee Dumas. He's a creator and host of EntrepreneurOnFire EOFIRE. And let me welcome, and then I'll tell you more about him. Welcome to the show, John.
Well, Shawn, I am excited to be here, my friend. You are one of my favorite podcast personalities because I love your energy. I love the vibe that you give off as you share your story and guide others through their story. So it's an honor to be here.
My friend, you are my coach. I'm sure everybody knows by now. And you are one of my most favorite person on the face of the earth.
That means a lot.
Actually, you and Kate both, both of you are so inspiring,
Kate's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And first of all, I would like to congratulate you upon the success of that Kickstarter project, the Freedom Journal.
Well, I just happen to have one right here. So
how about one here? One here.
Thank you very much for the kind words. It was truly an honor, and it was because of people like yourself, Shawn, that were really a big part of supporting this campaign that helped build 3 schools in developing countries through Pencils of Promise, which I'm very proud of. So thank you as well.
Sure. And actually, for most of my listeners and viewers know, you interview a successful entrepreneur every single day, 7 days a week, and you're the most successful entrepreneur in the industry. But I would like to still spend first 5 minutes taking you back to your journey as a podcaster, because I want to know 2 things for my listeners and viewers, how podcasting have changed your life. At the same time, we can see how you podcasting have the podcasting industry, because I'm a proud member of your Fire Nation community. So I still want to spend 5 minutes of your valuable time talking about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, podcasting has changed everything for me, Shawn, because before I podcasted, I didn't have connections or relationships with any successful entrepreneurs. It was just me, an Army officer, Army veteran, who had tried a couple careers in law and corporate finance and had failed at both and wanted to get going in the entrepreneurship game. And I was like, how can I do that? And I knew it was going to start by connecting with those who had already found success. And the only way that I could do that with people who were very busy, getting pulled in a lot of directions, was to launch a podcast that was going to grow an audience, so that when I reached out to Tim Ferriss and Gary Vaynerchuk and Barbara Corcoran and asked them to come onto my show, there was value to be on the show because there are people like you, Shawn, listening to their words, and they were able to talk about, a book or a community or just their experience, because they like to give value as well, because that's the reason why they've been successful. So it's all been about the relationships. And now that I've done over 1,300 interviews with successful and inspiring entrepreneurs, it's so clear to me that it's all about relationships.
So because of podcasting, practically you are able to network with all the top 30 industry leaders, you can say. So you converted podcasting into a business, but the people who are not in, who don't want to get in that industry, but let us say they are authors or they are computer business like me, if they want to reach their influencers, do you recommend them they should also be podcasting?
Well, the reality is this: if there are people in your industry that are rock stars that your business would value if you connected with them on an intimate level, like this conversation, Shawn, it's you, it's me, it's video, it's audio. We're listening to each other. We're hearing each other. Next time I see you in person, we're going to remember this conversation that we had, because it's building our relationship higher. So if there are people in your industry that it would benefit you and behoove you to become closer with, then podcasting is a great avenue for that.
Okay, the next question I have, you started podcasting about 3.5 years back, and in last 1 year, just because of you, I have seen several thousand new podcasters coming and successfully doing it, do you think it's like a kind of late for a lot more people to be podcasting like us?
Listen, when I launched in 2012, everybody told me that I was too late. You know, when people started podcasting in 2008, they were told that they were too late. When podcasting started in 2004, which was when it actually started, you know, those people were told that podcasting was stupid. So it's hard to listen to the outside influencers. And here we are in 2016. The reality is this. There are a lot of podcasters out there right now, but only 7% of podcasters make it past episode 10. You know, there's just not that many podcasts that continue to go forward and deliver value. And those few that do turn this into a marathon and not a sprint, those are the ones that are finding long-term success.
Okay, very well explained, and I'm your follower. So I already recorded about 50 before I launched, because I listened that what you just said today. I learned that long time back on the very first conversation from you. So now let us jump back to, like, you had a very one of the most successful Kickstarter project ever, the Freedom Journal. How about let us talk a little bit about the success of that, and then what is this Freedom Journal about, and why anybody should care about Freedom Journal. So let us spend the rest of the day on that.
Well, I think it would be better for me to tack that in the opposite order. So what is the Freedom Journal? Well, in January of 2015, I asked my audience, Fire Nation, like, what are you struggling with? And they told me that they didn't know how to set and accomplish goals effectively. And they saw that so many of my guests on EOFIRE were doing just that. So I decided to set out to create, you know, a beautiful leather-bound, gold embossed journal that I was going to be proud of, that anybody who owned it would be proud to have it as you do, on your desk, on your nightstand, in your book bag. I mean, that is what it's all about, is to have something that you're proud of that's going to hold you accountable. Because, you know, we all can make another PDF or another app or something in the cloud. But I knew that because of the success that I've had financially, that I would be able to fund out of pocket 20,000 Freedom Journals to be created. And that allowed me to get it created, to get it manufactured, shipped over to the USA, to the warehouse here in Los Angeles, so that in January of 2016, January 4th to be specific, we launched the Freedom Journal campaign. And again, the Freedom Journal is a guide on how you can set and accomplish your number one goal in 100 days. It's a very specific step-by-step guide of how you can do just that. Set and accomplish your number one goal in 100 days. And it just struck a chord, Shawn. Like, people knew that they needed to accomplish goals. They loved the fact that I brought Pencils of Promise in as a sponsor, so that a portion of every sale was going to build a school in a developing country. They loved all of these components, which was really exciting to see. So there we were, you know, January 4th, we launched, and we had a goal of $25,000, because that was when I was going to write a check for $25,000 to build our first school. And we hit that in 3 hours. And it just kept going from there, to where 33 days later, we finished at $453,000 and over 7,000 backers. And it was a monumental success. And it actually has become the 6th most funded publishing campaign of all time on Kickstarter, which we're really proud of.
Wow, what a success. And I'm proud contributor to that. I'm a proud owner of the Freedom Journal, sitting right here. Everybody can see this one more time. And they can go to the freedomjournal.com, or they can go to EOFIRE, or even to the Kickstarter. They can still get copies of these.
Yes.
And I really highly recommend this to all my listeners and viewers, and the people who like me or the people who don't like me.
Very nice. And I think that what you just did, Shawn, is a great testament to what I was talking about, where if you're willing to deliver free, valuable, and consistent content, like you've been listening to EOFIRE for a long time, you took the free podcast course that I created. Like, yes, you did decide to step up into our premium community of Podcasters Paradise, but you had already gotten so much free value up to that point that when I launched something like the Freedom Journal, it was like another way for you to give back, to thank me, to thank Kate for all the hard work that we do day to day. And people were really excited to be able to do that. So the moral of the story is, if you're building an audience that you are delivering free, valuable, and consistent content to, then you're really setting yourself up for long-term success.
Okay, we have very limited time, so I really want to get to your Freedom Journal SMART goals.
Sure.
How about you tell us?
So the problem with most entrepreneurs when they set goals is they don't set SMART goals. Now, what exactly is a SMART goal? Well, a SMART goal has 5 attributes: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-bound. Now, you'll hear most people say something like, I want to lose weight. And like, that's not a SMART goal. That only has one of the 5 attributes. That has specific. You want to lose weight. Let's move on to number 2, measurable. I want to lose 10 pounds. Is it attainable? Well, I've been down to 165 before, and I'm currently 175, so I know that is an attainable goal. Is it relevant? Well, for me, I want to look better. I want to feel better. I want to have more energy. So yes, it's relevant to me. Now, is it time bound? And this is where most people fail. Well, with the Freedom Journal, it is time bound because it is in 100 days. And within those 100 days, Shawn, we teach you how to set micro goals. So every 10 days, you're doing a 10-day sprint where you're accomplishing micro goals that keep you on point. Every 25 days, you're doing a quarterly review where we're looking back and identifying what worked and what didn't. So that by the time you hit your 100 days, you'll have accomplished 10 micro goals. You'll have accomplished 3 quarterly reviews, and you will have accomplished your number 1 goal in 100 days.
Okay, so you also have a Facebook community for, what do you call it, accountability and partnerships and working together?
So anybody that joins, anybody that purchases their own copy of the Freedom Journal gets access to our private Facebook group, which has almost 4,000 members in it. They get access to our audio book, which I personally narrate and spend a lot of time on. They get access to a PDF. So like if you're on the go and you forgot it, you can do a fillable PDF of it. And it also includes an app that you can kind of keep track on, either on Android or iOS. So it really has a lot of additional value than just the book itself.
So John, what's next?
It's a good question, Shawn. The reality is I'm really focused on one big goal at a time. I really take my own medicine. I really heed my own advice. So right now, it is all about the Freedom Journal. I mean, the Kickstarter campaign was a success, but we've now transitioned to it into a store that's on Amazon, that's on Shopify, and we're working and tweaking and making sure that we're improving every aspect of this. So right now, it's all about the Freedom Journal, and when we set our sights on that next goal, you'll be one of the first to hear.
Okay, like this is what I already planned to talk to you about. But the other thing I really, for myself, I want to hear from you. I have interviewed over 50 successful entrepreneurs, but you have almost like 1,300 successful entrepreneur. They're a lot more successful than me, at least, or a lot of even my own guests I had. So I really want to know. So, because I'm so hungry to hear from you one-on-one, what are the other habits, like in addition to goal setting and following this path? What else you have learned like people should really practice?
A positive mindset is something that's really underrated, and it's something that you naturally have, Shawn, but unfortunately most people don't. So, they'll have their ups and they'll have their downs, and unfortunately those down days will make them question themselves and have struggles, and we all will have those days. We'll have the ups, we'll have the downs. That's why you really need to be part of a mastermind. You need to surround yourself with, 5 people that you want to be the average of. So, preferably you and 4 other people are there for each other, are meeting on a week-to-week basis, are, holding each other accountable, making sure that you're pushing yourself, making sure that you're setting big goals and that you're then accomplishing those goals as well. So I have a mastermind that meets every single Wednesday, rain, snow, or shine. And that is critical for me going forward into success. And that's really a very big component of it. So a positive mindset is very underrated. And you got to make sure that you surround yourself with other people who have a positive mindset, who are motivating in and of themselves. Because, even with someone like yourself who has a really positive mindset, you're still going to have those challenges and those down days and those questions that you're going to have, the imposter syndrome. And you need to have others that are picking you up during those times. Just like on the alternative, you're going to be picking them up when they're down. And that's just like this nice combination mastermind that you are growing, building together, which is so important.
John, I'm looking at you. You're so motivational. You're so young and you're full of knowledge and energy, and you motivate so many people around. You may not even know some of those. So I think after Freedom Journal, you're going to become a motivational speaker.
We'll see. I mean, one thing that I do love right now is Snapchat. I love that social media platform because it allows me to give mentoring one to many. So people ask me all the time, John, like, can you mentor me one-on-one? And I don't do that anymore because I just don't have the bandwidth to conduct one-on-one mentorship. But the reality is this: Snapchat allows me to give a JLD rant or to go off on a topic that I think is really important for entrepreneurs to realize, compare and despair, production versus consuming. I have these talks that I give in my Snapchat every single day to keep people motivated and to keep them going forward, because I think it's really, really important to have that. And so, motivational speaking is something that doesn't appeal to me that much because I don't like the idea of traveling for one 45-minute talk and then having to travel back. Like, I think it's very impactful, and I think it's for some people, but it's not really for me. I'm much more in my bubble, being able to have this conversation with you. I love the medium Blab, by the way, which gives me the opportunity to jump on live and hang out with people. But again, be here where I can still focus on my health, focus on my sleep, focus on my business, and not have travel like suck away the essence of what I'm trying to produce. Because I see that as a pitfall for a lot of people. They just travel way too much, and it's a recipe for disaster.
Actually, I was thinking to ask you something else, because you produce so much and you and Kate, like in this partnership, you guys are growing so fast. How are you able to spare time for yourself?
Yeah.
Do you really sleep enough? Do you do any exercise? How you manage that?
Every day I sleep 8 hours at a minimum. Every day I exercise a minimum of 10,000 steps. And I'm able to do that because I prioritize my life. I don't go and travel around the country or around the world very often. Every now and then I'll go and speak at a conference, but it's pretty few and far in between. Like, if I wanted to, I could be speaking every single weekend or every single week somewhere around the world. But that wouldn't leave me time to, again, focus on my relationship or my health or my business or my sleep to the matter that I want. So because I live in this bubble right here, and I wake up at 5:30 in the morning and I get more stuff done before 9 a.m. than the rest of the world does all day, it gives me the opportunity to go out for walks, to make sure I'm in bed at 9:15 every single night, so that when I wake up at 5:30, I've gotten my 8 hours of sleep. So really important stuff.
Okay, we have only 5 more minutes, so I had to ask, because some of my listeners and viewers have been asking me to ask that. Actually, I interviewed your girlfriend, your partner, Kate, twice on the show. I asked her, but I want to hear that from you. Like, if I'm in a warehouse right now, actually, me and my wife and some employees, we run computer business, and I'm in a room interviewing you right now. So me and my wife had been running this business since 1999.
Wow.
So sometimes it becomes challenging to work together at emotional level and decision making and things. I want to hear one-on-one straight from you how you had been balancing with your girlfriend or partner or Kate, just running all this business,
Yeah. I mean, we each know our roles. Kate has her strengths, which is organization, which is details, which is administrative, which are systems and processes. And I have my strengths, like the big idea, the personality, the content, the value giving, XYZ. So we really complement each other really well in those areas. And the reality is we both shut it down every night, around 5, 6 p.m. latest. And the rest of the night is just us hanging out, watching, a TV show like Blacklist or like House of Cards, something like that. So we make sure that we both know our roles and we're very communicative about those roles, number one. And then number two, we make sure there's always enough time for ourselves at the end of the day to go for a walk together. We always eat dinner together, and we always watch a TV show together. Like, you'll hear people like Gary Vaynerchuk say, like, if you're watching TV, you're not working hard enough. Like, I work hard enough. Like, I work hard during the day. I like to kick back and relax and watch TV at night. And, I don't just watch the news. I think that's a waste of time. I don't watch politics because I think that's a waste of time. But I do watch shows that I enjoy, like those shows that I mentioned. So I really do have that good work-life balance. And, I'm very carefully guarding that. I really make sure that everything I say yes to fits within those parameters.
So basically, you're working hard and enjoying hard.
Yes. Work hard, play hard.
Yeah. Okay, my friend. So I really appreciate you coming to my show. And
it's been a pleasure.
I really enjoyed, and I'm still so much lost into the motivation I get from you. So I'll see you in the community.
Absolutely, Shawn. And again, thank you for providing your energy to the world. It's amazing.
The freedomjournal.com, EOFIRE.com, EntrepreneurOnFire.com. Those are my best places. Those are my best communities. Thank you guys. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.
LaptopUniverse.com CEO Indu Chhabra announced the launch of BuybackQueen.com. This newly launched reverse e-commerce website buys back used old electronics, old iPhones, iPads, and all other smart devices directly from the consumers. You should not throw your old phone away because your trash may be hitting gold. Buyback Queen wants your old device and will pay top dollars for it. The process is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Fast payment, free shipping, free data wipe, risk-free transaction. Let us make the world a cleaner place and make money by selling our device on BuybackQueen.com.